1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. T-O-M, teachers of my heart. Who am I today? The scribe, been forever, but the name changes with the times. I come from a place where space is home. I go into realms where your face is gone. A change gon' come. As a teen, hypnotized deep in a sleep, party and slumber. 11 life path number, a life of death that's rebirth. Recall realities to reemerge. Soul purge, I'll lend you frequency like loan words. Before I teach, I'll spit a poem first. Step on stage, set the stage, car walking, set ablaze, divine fire. The body is divine attire, sewn from words. Sound frequency, awakening dreams. Don't pinch me every day I wake up, it's a home birth. Start from zero to become the heroes. Cycles of time causes expansion of minds. Potential is exponential. Gain XP, what your power made of. I've had to face self, face to fate, a double fate. What will I make of the present? I'm just trying to pet heaven. Twice great, 2 arms up, it's none to wave. It's nothing to wave. God separate the waters from the waters. Genesis 1 and 6. See, that source is thousands of years prior to a Bible even existing. It's called the pet, word for heaven. Watchers of noon, primordial, pre-ordered, bringing order in order. Its law the scales will represent. A double gift, re-present, Ray is present. Ra, amen to the God inside. The crown will glow as consciousness grows. So what assignment are you on? I do my best to do my best. Lead with the left, heart out my chest. By step out of the flesh. On my crown is the Nemez, Corona shining. I do my best to do my best. Lead with the left, heart out my chest. By step out of the flesh. On my crown is the Nemez, Corona shining. Serpent mind winding in alignment. Straight from Orion, the origins. Dig into the root, Kemp originals, the oracle speaking. Your aura is gleaming. The sons of God, Amen Ra. Who can't afford a reason to fall below your own means, meaning reaching beyond the firmament ceiling. I see linguistics tricking us deep into sleeping. The way we live inception, I must be dreaming. Doubles, double L, square root, mirrors, reverse the image. My grip was slipping. Almost forgot the point of the mission. Statements point out all the contradictions. Blatant truth lives where my eye is foundation. Yeah, co-founded a nation. Dictionary study spells can be scary. Etymology, this here is completion. Cycle circles, dualism, wisdom. I peddle flowers. 2 eyes are watching to see through the double realm I'm healing. Never out of what's within him. Infinite reasons, just like my brother Arcad. Always remain calm against demons. Death culture, to be alive here, it's a lie here. They crossed us into thinking that death isn't living. The lies are falling through my palms, arm wide, holes in my hand. The Pope's in command, I demand the throne back. Ancient teachings, I'm a throwback. Picture that, see this moment here is cold that. So black, I see through lies. Why they hold that, ocean motions. I'm flowing through noon in the boats of consciousness. My tongue is rolling, planting seeds, sowing. Neo speaking, untangled quantum DNA, spitting frequencies. I hear Christians scream hallelujah, and this ain't that the name of God is God. I must bring the order back, the scales are tipping. In the court of Allah, moonshine to Houthi is Yah. This here is Patah, bulldozing, the one chosen. Focus, when the light hits you, just open like lotus. Melt your mind when in mind time is frozen. Blow minds, my mind is golden. Coat me in gold, I've got a gold coat round me like I'm Tutankhamun. Like his, when you spell my name, put 3 lines in. Scribe, presenting the law's findings. Who's he? I me, an echo of Tahuti. Yes, I do my best to do my best. Lead with the left, heart out my chest. By step out of the flesh. On my crown is the Nemez, Corona shining. We do our best to do our best.
this is the whole purpose of actually doing the Midnighter class on the Purim Haru, was to get everybody in the mind state of Hika, because the Purim Haru is a book of Hika. It's a book of magic. It's a book of immortality, out-of-body experiences. It's a book of several spells. It is all about the other realm and its connection to this realm and how you can merge the two. So I just never allowed the questions of actual ritual or magical practice other than the one-on-one. You'll see it looks like a sieve. Everybody know what a sieve is?
No.
A sieve is like a strainer. You can pour rice on it and only the water will go through, or you separate. It's like a screen. You pour something on it and it separates things. Thinner aspects can go through the. Today's equivalent is a K or a Q. So we have Kes, which is bone, body, skeleton. The inner part of you that actually produces the blood within the bone marrow. So it's flesh and blood, which is bones, which is the Kes. So here, Kes ties in again is homage. Kes. Whether it's spelled like that or spelled like any of the other 20 ways that the beautiful thing with a man. Venus came from, and how Venus associates with an actual shining planet, and how that became the Lucifer of Christianity, which is the Luic cipher, the encircled light, which at sometimes can be Venus, and sometimes can be. The Kenti was the royal area of the beginnings. That's where the modern day Greek historians say that men came. That when they went and talked to the so-called Ethiopians, they said that that Kemet was an area reestablished.
There is no spoon.
Keep on moving. Keep on moving. Keep on moving. Keep on moving. I had to relearn what a brother is. I had to relearn what a sister is. I had to relearn what a mother is. There is no other him. Watch your mouth, fix your lips. I am learning to compartmentalize what I find with my mentals. I could have been labeled mental voices in my head. If I speak to the wrong one, I'll be diagnosed schizophrenic. Creating pollution, you can't escape from where Captain Planet. Where's Captain Planet? And it's exactly how they planned it. It's insanity, stayed in a state of sanity. But I'm the scribe, keeping record on the record, I break records. This, that, medu, nature, echo, living, lively, times 3, Trinity. We are not the same, not even similar. Plant the seed, a man receive excellence, adoration, testaments, evaluation, literally. The love is real, yet they be hating. Salutations, I wait to master patience. Acting lackadaisy on your facts, I'm backed by conscious beings. I am free, king, lock the wings in. The The diction is firm, call me men. A man 3 in 1, erection, protection, firm. Spitting life into who I speak to like sperm. Creation is a who I earned. The right to fully see it through. The heart as I rise through. Manu, Akut, lost it when I had to find you. I'm through, times 2, dualism, we will align soon. As I meditate in my room, it becomes a space of pure truth aligned with my eyes. Verbiage is time for more than the 2 eyes. I can see the veil underneath that other veil. Focus when I am locked in. I don't need a cell. Tell me you don't see the traps. Tower power over enemies, frozen over hell, reversing spells. Fell from the skies, the body is disguised. If you needed a sign, well this is it. I hope you read between the lines, left, right. After the first step, I write what's left in me. This is destiny, keep on moving, especially if you find blockage. No amount of pushback will stop this. This will get capped in stone, they cannot top this. Pyro, fire, bar is my attire. Inspire the ones chosen, the ones open, the ones spoken. From times when life was once spoken. Enchantments, Nessu, double tongue in motion. Give, receive, keep moving and move for keeps. Keep it real, keep the master key. I had to master me. Mirror glass shattered in my dreams. I didn't like the image till I realized I am the image of the image. I'm here for keeps, keep your distance. Social gimmicks are stories told within the hieroglyphics. Mystics, just keep on living. We're gifted. Our stories told within the hieroglyphics. A language living, just keep on living. Keep on moving. Keep on moving. Keep on moving. Keep on moving. Keep. I had to relearn what a brother is. I had to relearn what a sister is. I had to relearn what a mother is. There is no other him. Watch your mouth, fix your lips. Yeah, motivate a nation. Stepping out the spaceship, causing a spaceship. Faced with revealing the spells within this matrix from the Masons. But I'm the architect. Best respect, I can architect. Rule your rulership, I hold the heck. Control my thoughts, still move when the game is paused. We speak heck up, this is the best of Medu Nature, bars like Wi-Fi, we're connected. Always on time, frequency and flow. Flow through frequency, I know the power I hold in my throat. Creation, destruction, with every single thing I've spoke. Enter, netter, Kurt, show your worth. Heal from all the hurt, not a singer, best believe I hold a note. Read between the lines, you're not really lost in that. I hope you find exactly what you are looking for. This is more than words, taught myself to heal myself. I come from the dirt, no time for slacking or bad habits. Sad tactics of bringing mad tragic mental processes that lack passion. Spit fire, black dragon, school of hard knocks, send you backpacking. My eyes, when this appears, it's like magic. The fact is, when it's wartime, we go savage. Shield of armor 720, prevent backstabbing all the fiends of good-hearted beings. They don't suit the role, they lack the fashion. So just keep on moving. Keep on moving. Keep on moving. Keep.
Hotep, peace and love. Mic check. How do I sound?
Sound good.
Good. Hotep, peace and love, brothers. Peace and love. Welcome to Teachings of Ma'at Study Guide Sunday. Today's topic is The Tale of the Eloquent Peasant. Ancient Egyptian Literature Reading by Atef Rem Kem Ma'at. Before I introduce everyone on this panel, we will begin as we do every week with our beautiful affirmation. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Unki and Ma'at. Un and S. Nintet or Set and Ma'at. Men Hapapet and Ma'at. Her and Hu Kui. Per Iku. I live for Ma'at. I exist within her. I do not speak in the place of Ma'at. Every day I advance towards Ma'at. My being is surrounded in darkness. I come forth as conscious light. Peace and love, everybody. We introduce the panel, Hinu to the great Ahati Ma'at. Ahati Ma'at was taught under the great Tahuti Amenhotep Ra. He has been a serious student and teacher of Kemetic culture and history for several years. He has written multiple books, including a textbook called Journey of Your Soul series, essays, and articles. Furthermore, he hosts in-person and online classes, weekly podcasts, and creates periodically documentaries. He also has experience in public speaking and academic debating. He is responsible for the creation of this weekly study guide. Next, we have the great scribe, Ani Aten Tahuti, is a writer, poet, spoken word artist, audio producer, engineer, healer, spiritual advisor, consultant, and business creator. He is a master student of the Natiru, a true follower and protector of Ma'at, a scribe of Tahuti and Ma'at. He studies under the master teacher, Saba Tahuti Amenhotep Ra. For the scribe, quality always outweighs quantity. He enjoys observing reality and incorporating these observations into his writings and creations to assist in awakening a dormant DNA and reversing of negative hypnosis. Next, we have the mighty Minku Ra Mary Ma'at, specializes in training, educating youth workers, counselors, educators about arts, culture, and history. He travels the world to experience how people live, and he shares it with everyone who is interested in learning from the research he has witnessed. Minku has a master's degree in entertainment and media business and has been working in the music industry and with nonprofit agencies providing program planning and promoting concerts and community events in the Madison area for over 30 years. During that time, he has facilitated the following innovative after-school programs for Madison School Community Recreation, including Hip Hop 101, Music Production 101, and MP4 Music Produced for Use. And I am the mighty Atef Rim Kima'at, the chairman of the organization, the Tetetu. I am a student of the master teacher, the great Tahuti Amenhotep Ra, the host of this weekly study guide, Teachings of Ma'at, a true-hearted follower based on truth based on ancestral artifacts over religious opinion, a love of my people unconditionally, dedicated to learning the Medu Neter, and a loyal defender of Ma'at. Welcome, everybody, to another beautiful class, Teachings of Ma'at.
Hotel.
Peace. Peace to the chat. Peace to everybody in the chat. Peace to you, Angela Gates. I see you.
Hey, brother Atef, your sound does have like a little background feed to it. I'm not sure what that is, but there is like some background echoing going on.
Echo? All right, hold on. Yeah, I might have something going on. Hold on.
All right. Peace, everyone. Hotep. Great brother Minku. You want to tell the people get your tickets. Get your tickets to the Pathways to Awakening. Our great Anmer Per who's constructing and leading this beautiful event that we're hosting. So go ahead, great brother Minku.
We are almost a month away. We're getting close. We're getting close to the event. I'm very excited. Hope you all are seriously considering coming out to LA, joining forces with us, breaking bread with us, and just having a good time. October 28th is coming close. You still have time to get your tickets and take care of your accommodations. We would love to see you. We're going to have a talent show. Saba's going to make some announcements. The great Ani Patab will be speaking and performing. And it's just going to be a beautiful event. We're going to have vendors. I'm so excited for this event. I am. I keep having dreams and visions of what's going to happen. So I'm super looking forward to it. If you just need like a little, support, please reach out to us so we can help you to get to LA. It's going to be a great time. So please let us know if you're interested. Please grab your tickets and don't miss out on this. This is going to be great. So we're going to simultaneously be celebrating a 1-year anniversary of Teachings of Ma'at, and this year also will be the 2nd year anniversary of the Tahuti Pod class. So It's just going to be a celebration. We look forward to seeing you. If you are talented, you have a great chance of winning the $250 first place prize. Come out. We'll have merch for sale. It's going to be a great event. I'm looking forward to this. It's going to be work and play for me. But I'm very excited to honor the brothers on this panel and all that will come. And of course, to honor Saba Tahuti and his goddess and his family. It's an honor to serve, and I'm looking forward to just loving on everybody that's going to be there.
Absolutely. It's going to be phenomenal. No, can't hear you really.
Can't hear me?
No, you sound really far away.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, everyone get your tickets. That link is in the it's in the bio right below this video, and it's also there live in the chat. So shout out to everyone who are already purchasing your tickets. I see you all. So Hotep for supporting Saba Tahuti and the teachings of Ma'at and the great brothers here on this panel. We look forward to seeing everyone. It's going to be a phenomenal event. So everyone come out and show support. It's going to be great. It's an all-day event. We're going to have some wonderful food. It's going to be great. So everyone hit that link, purchase your tickets. You have, 1 month from the event, which is the 28th. Tickets will go up $10 more. So if you want to get them at the $25 price that they're at right now, you want to get them before the 28th, and then they'll go up to $35 then. Don't wait till the last minute, everyone. Go ahead and make your accommodations, and we look forward to seeing everyone out.
What about now? How do I sound?
There we go. I think you sound good now. Hold on. Keep here.
Yeah,
Peace.
Sound great.
I gotta get close to the mic. All right, peace. That's good right there?
Yes.
All right, Hotep.
All right. Let me run through some of these promotions here. Our Rumble, join us on Rumble. Hotep and Hinu, to everyone on Rumble who's live with us now and those watching on the playback. This is our second platform that we stream on. It's our backup channel. It's our channel that, YouTube is very restrictive in a lot of what can be said, what can be taught. So when streams go down on YouTube, they'll remain up on Rumble. So that's the main reason why we did that. So support us there, go over there and follow us on Rumble as well. Our Ma'at Wisdom Wednesday class, our first one, we had on the 6th of this month. It was fantastic. It was phenomenal. Hotep to all the great members who came out. Our next class will be this coming up Wednesday, the 20th. And we're going to continue to go into the powerful instruction literature, the wisdom literature, those that gave the moral foundation for everyone else in the world to follow. So be sure all the members that you're in the Discord and that you're keeping up in the Wisdom Wednesday section of the Discord. If you want to become a member, just reach out to me, leadership@teachingsofma'at.org. Email me or go to teachingsofma'at.org. You'll find my email there, and you'll see a messaging system. And all you have to do is just reach out and say, hey, how do I become a member? Or I am ready to become a member. And this class is free for the members. So you definitely want to become a member coming up. You want to go ahead and place yourself in the door because there's going to be more powerful and very magical things happening, especially after this October 28th event with the announcements that the great Saba Tahuti will be presenting. MetaNetter Mondays, our great MetaNetter class that Saba Tahuti Amenhotep Ra host every single Monday. Email him, mysticaltelevision@gmail.com. The greatest MetaNetter class, period. It's more than just reading the MetaNetter. Now we're getting into rituals and practices to enhance your life, to as the video at the beginning says, to learn how to protect your peace, to become conscious in the decisions that you make. And that's what the MetaNetter does, as it is a living language. So mysticaltelevision@gmail.com. Reach out to our great Saba Tahuti. As I said, our Discord community, join that. That link is also in the description below. Join that. We have a lot of great information going on there. It's where the Ma'at Wisdom Wednesday class is also, all the information there is held. So be sure that you all are a part of that. And finally, I'll show the support. So if you support Ma'at, if you support the truth, if you support these brothers, then this is how you do it. PayPal or Cash App, Teachings of Ma'at. We're doing so much, and we appreciate all the love and support that comes in from everyone. And I'll show some of the support that we received in prior to this class. So if you throughout this presentation, if you appreciate any one thing that you find that you didn't know, or you learned something new, or something that you appreciate, please show reciprocity by sending in a PayPal or a Cash App, so we can continue to do this and continue to put together these events that we're doing. So we're coming down to the stretch. So we love and appreciate all the support that comes in, and you all are raised high, and we all give you Hinu in our weekly newsletter that we send out. And all of you all are a part of that. If you donate, your name is on that newsletter. So Hotep and Hinu to everyone who supports. And the banner will be scrolling on the bottom to keep a constant reminder for you all to support. All right. So, of course, the great brother Atef Remken Ma'at today is going to be reading the Eloquent Peasant, Ancient Egyptian Literature. And as I always do, I'm going to show some things prior to his reading to give this greater context, so we know who we're reading from, who we're reading about, and just have a greater understanding of who this is about and what this represents. So not only are you going to get the actual reading of the literature, but you'll actually have a teaching to go along with the literature at the same time. So this is what we will be going into today, the Eloquent Peasant, which is a very powerful literature. All right. So great brother Atef Remken Ma'at, do you have anything that you want to say before I show a couple things?
Nah, brother, go ahead. Do your thing. I know you're finna work your magic, good brother.
Absolutely. Tua. All right. And let me show, before I do this, let me show the support that came in. Emmanuel Rodriguez, Nukpu 333 for Tua Ma'at. This is one of our great active members. Shout out to Nukpu. Wonderful supporter. This brother supports consistently every single week. He sends in multiple supports throughout the classes, throughout the week. So this was prior to this class. So Hotep to you, great brother Nukpu. All right, next we have the wonderful sister Angela Gates, who sends in $10 for support. Hotep, great sister Angela Gates, another fantastic supporter, consistent supporter. She appreciates Ma'at. She appreciates this knowledge and the information and what we're doing. She's also very consistent in the Discord community meetings as well. When she can be there, she's there. So Hotep to this great sister, and I love your new thumbnail. Hotep to you. All right, next we have Nito Campbell, Mr. Consistent himself, the most consistent brother on YouTube, $5. Yes, this is the most consistent supporter from the beginning. He's found a way to support every single week. So you are leading by example, leading with your Ebe, and you are so appreciated, great brother. So Tua, and we look forward to, I hope you can make it out to the Pathways to Awakening event so we can meet in person. So Hotep to you, good brother, and I hope you enjoy the show for today. All right. Next, let me pull this up here. Next, let me share my screen again. We have the good brother who's in the chat, Sincere Austin, known as Bijan Pharaoh, $10. Support, keep shining, Natiru. Yes, Bijan Pharaoh is another great supporter. Tua to you, good brother, for the way that you support. We know that you appreciate this knowledge and information. So thank you. Thank you for your words as well. We will keep shining. We will keep grinding. We will keep building. And we look forward to when you reach out as well to become a member. So Hotep to you, good brother, who is Bijan Pharaoh in the chat, who says Nini Uk. All right. Next, once again, as he lives up to his name, Nukpu, as the double palindrome there. He sends in another 333. Ma'akaru, ma'akaru, ma'at. Tua, good brother, who is Roberto Reyes, Ma'akaru Amun Ray, the birthday event, Rebirth to Awakening. Absolutely. Look forward to seeing you there, great brother. And continuing to build. You're fantastic. You're a wonderful supporter, and you're going to be a great teacher. So Tua to you, good brother, and look forward to building with you here on the team, and keep on moving forward and leading with the left. All right. So that's what happens when you send in the Cash App to Teachings of Ma'at. We show every support that comes in. So that, as well as the PayPal. So Hotep and Henu to everyone who's consistently showing support. All right. Peace, everyone. We see you all in there. Definitely have to give a shout out to our great moderator, Primordial Thought 9, the one with 9 thoughts of primordial times. Great brother. So Tua for being a wonderful moderator and being consistent the way that you do. Everyone give Henu to the great brother Primordial Thought 9. All right. Let's see. Stephen E is in the building. Says peace and love, Sister Angela Gates. Angela Gates sending wellness vibes to Atef. Hail to Ani, Ahati, Saba Tahuti, Menku, Primordial, Shannon, and Atef. Henu to you. Strangers in the building. Peace signs up. The power of 3. Absolutely. Shannon, Henu, Saba Tahuti the Great. Absolutely. The good brother Nuru says, Hotep Henu Ma'at, greetings, fam. This is a great brother here. Hotep to you, Nuru. All right, so let's get started with some information prior to the reading here. Okay, let me pull my screen up. Okay, here we go. Okay, so this is the eloquent peasant. So this section right here, this is from Merriam-Webster's Ancient Egyptian Literature. And it says this long work is preserved in 4 copies or 4 papyrus copies, all dating from the Middle Kingdom. The individual copies are incomplete, but together they yield the full text, which comprises 430 lines. The 3 principal copies are P. Berlin 3023, P. Berlin 3025, P. Berlin 10499, and the 4th is P. Butler 527, which is also in the British Museum 10274. All right, so here we have the one of the papyruses here, P. Butler 10274, right here, also known as P. Butler 527. All right, so this is EA 10274, papyrus with literary text on both recto and verso in similar hands. On the recto, 40 lines from the introductory portion of the Tales of the Eloquent Peasant, and on the verso, 39 lines of the Discourse of the Fowler. So you'll find a lot of these papyruses with many different stories on one papyrus. We'll find multiple papyruses and put them all together, and therefore we get the full story. 12th dynasty around 1800 BCE. So very ancient story here. All right, so here is 10274, and here is Egyptian Museum Berlin, P. Berlin 3025 and 3023. So these are also was used to help get a full translation of the papyrus, along with P. Berlin 10499, which I didn't add to this presentation here, but that's also a part of this. So this is the actual papyrus, and I always love to show the physical papyrus that the stories come from, because this is something in the language that it's supposed to be in, from the people that that is supposed to be written from. And this is something you can never do with any biblical writing. So this is why I continuously and will always do this, because this is ancestral artifacts over religious opinion. Okay, so let us read the first line of the literature. So this is the very first line. There was a man called Khnum Anu, or Inpu. He was a peasant of Wadi Netran. So here is his name, Khnum, which here is Inpu, which you see Inpu there, and Ka'un Inpu. He was a peasant of who? Of Wadi Netran. And I'm going to show a little bit of this, because this is where he resided. This is where he was. This is where he worked. So this is another great thing of the literature, is that it tells you who it's talking about, and the location, and what he did. So this really allows us a peek into his life as we read this story, this beautiful story. We'll be able to have a greater context of who this person is, and why this is called the tale of the story of the eloquent peasant. All right, so here we have Wadi El Netran, which this is what he was a peasant of. Wadi El Netran, also known as Valley of Natron, Coptic. So this still survives in the Coptic language, which is the latest form of the metanetter, though it's used in Greek letters. But it's still a lot of the actual metanetter words still live on in the Coptic language. So, when people say, oh, the language is dead, really just even from that, it can't be, because we still have a word right here, Sekhet or Sahet, from Sekhet, which means valley or land. Is a depression in northern Egypt that is located 23 meters, 75 feet below sea level, and 38 meters below the Nile River. The valley contains several alkaline lakes, natron-rich salt deposits, salt marshes, and freshwater marshes. In Christian literature, it is usually known as Seketis. In Hellenistic Greek, Seket. So here you see in the Greek and still in the Christian literature, Seketis, it still comes from this word right here, Seket. Seket. It is one of the 3 early Christian monastic centers located in the Nitrian desert of the northwestern Nile Delta. The other 2 monastic centers of Nitria and Kelia, Seketis, now called Wadi el Natron, is best known today because its ancient monasteries remain in use, unlike Nitria and Kelia, which have only archaeological remains. The desertified valley around Seketis in particular may be called the desert of Seketis. So, which comes from this metanetter word here, Seket, marshland or field, country beside town. And this is from the Middle Egyptian Dictionary, the digitized version, page 294. Seket, with the land here with the shu or the reeds coming forth from the land. So we can see that he is a Seketi of an area called Seket Himamam, all coming from the same root word Sek. So he is a Seketi. So as we read right here, he was a peasant. What's that word for peasant? Right here, he was a Seket, a Seketi, right here, Seketi, as with the man, Pu in Seket. So the same word for the actual land, Wadi Natron, is the same word for the field laborer or the peasant, what's known as the peasant. So the Seket. So that's why we see the same words coming from Sek, Seketi, peasant, fisherman, fowler, Seketi, field laborer, peasant, countryman, Seket, Himam, which is the salt fields, the Nitriotes or Wadi on Natron. So this is the real name of it, the metanetter word, the Seket Hamam, coming from Sek. Sek, which means what? To reap, and field. So an actual field, a garden lands, and a place where you reap something. And then we have Seketi here, a field god in the Tuat. So we'll also show why that's why this actual field is applied to the Tuat as well. And for those who may not know, the Tuat is another name for the land of the afterlife. All right, so here I have the actual physical location for you all to see. So right here in this land, as you see the Nile Valley right here, which creates this beautiful flower, which is another beautiful as above, so below, because you see flowers everywhere, and even the name for a bouquet of flowers is Ankh. So the actual shape of the Nile Valley is that of a flower, and it's absolutely beautiful. So here is the actual area of Wadi Natron, or the field of salt, and here it is zoomed in. As you see right here, it still has that name, the Natron Valley, with the coordinates here, with these valleys right here. So this is where the who is known as the eloquent peasant, Impu. This is where he was. This is where he worked, literally right here, physically right here in this area here. So this is where he was. Wadi Natron, field of salt, right here. So this is a image of this area here. And this as well. So the salt fields. And we're gonna look at why these salt fields are so important. So let me come back to the chat real quick, because I'm gonna ask you all the word natron, right? Wadi Natron, field of salt. So what would be the benefits of actually collecting salt, collecting natron? What would be some of the benefits of that, of having someone whose job is literally to be a field laborer at the field of salt to gather up natron? How important of a job is that, to gather up natron? Okay, I'm gonna come back to the chat and see what you all think, see what you all say about that, and why this person has this story, and why it's so important for him to be, he's an eloquent peasant, which we know what eloquence is, right? The one who moves with eloquence, and he's a field laborer, and he's a field laborer at the Wadi Natron, at the Saket Hammam, the field of salt. So what's the purpose of salt? What's the benefit of salt? And I'm gonna come back to the chat here, and let's take a look.
The great Stephen E. says one of the uses of natron is for the preservation of the Sahu.
Okay.
Roberto Reyes says, oh, no, that's a different comment.
I think he's talking about this brother here. Is Zachary Lindsay says, Jesus Christ can save your soul.
Nice.
Zachary, you in the right channel to learn how to really save your soul.
Facts.
Absolutely.
Hey, so we got a papyrus right here at the Eloquent Peasant. I wonder, are there any ancient papyruses? Are there any ancestral artifacts besides what's written in that book? For whatever that comment was that brother put. The toothbrush, can we find maybe his toothbrush, any DNA? Y'all familiar with DNA, Investigation Discovery Channel, and DNA and different things like that?
All right. Angela Gates says, I don't know. Yes, welcome Zachary Lindsay. Just stay and keep watching, and let us know your thoughts. We'll post a link at the end of the reading, and you can come up and let us know what you think, good brother or sister. I'm not sure. Okay, so Angela Gates says, I don't know. Stephen E says one use of natron is for the preservation of the Sahu. All right. Anybody else have any answers? What's natron used for? What is natron used for? If you have a whole entire field to gather up natron, why would they be doing this? Let me see. Let me wait for a couple more answers before I move forward. All right. Bijan Farrell says words of Patah don't equal his Bible. Teach him. Angela Gates says ditto to what Stephen E said. Okay. They used it as a detergent. Also speaking of natron. Okay. For the land to be fertile. Bijan Farrell says, I don't know. All right. Let me, great answers, everyone. All right. Let me get back into it. Pull it up here. Okay. So here we are at the Wadi Natron, the Saket Hammam, field of salt. Okay, so once again here, there was a man called Khnum Anpu. He was a peasant of the Wadi Natron, right? And that word for Natron is Hemet, right here, Hemet, with the symbol of grinding something. The Saket Hammam, the salt fields. So here at McGill, the Office for Science and Society, separating sense from nonsense. And here is the link here. Natron is hydrated sodium carbonate with the formula Na2CO310H2O. This mineral was mined as a powdery solid from dry lake beds near the Nile and had many practical applications in ancient Egypt. Mummification is based on natron's ability to absorb water and thus dry out the body. So great job, Stephen E., who answered that correctly. It definitely is something that's used for the mummification process and dries out all of the water from the body. The Egyptians also preserved their meat and fish by mixing natron with salt. This alkaline combo created a hostile environment for bacteria. In addition to its historic use for preservation, natron was very popular among Egyptian artists. The first synthetic pigment, Egyptian blue, was concocted more than 4,500 years ago by grinding and heating a mixture of sand, copper, and natron. To this day, the artificial pigment can be found on myriad forms of art from the early Egyptian dynasties until the end of the Roman period. So that's very powerful. So yes, it was used for the mummification process to turn the body and make it eternal, to become a sahu. They would cover the body in salt to allow it to dry itself out. After they would pull out the organs, of course, leaving the heart, they would put different packets into the body to also allow it to dry out from the inside as well, which is why when you look at different sahus, they look like they're just sleeping. You replace the eyes. You add certain things to stuff certain parts, and the body looks like it's just sleeping. So yes, natron was extremely important. It was extremely important for the preservation of the bodies. So with this brother, Khnum Inpu, he had an extremely important job in being someone who fields the land of natron. And it also was used to create the Egyptian blue. That's a wonderful question. That's a wonderful question to send in. The great Saba Tahuti gave a wonderful class in the Meta Netter class of the synthetic pigment Egyptian blue and what that represents, why it's blue, which you see on the top of Ptah's cap. You see is a blue cap, and why that technology is still being used today in Bluetooth and Blu-ray. It all comes from this here, the Egyptian blue, which was used, which natron was used to create this pigment. Send that question in to the Tahuti podcast and ask about the color blue and how it was made and how it's still being utilized today for our technology. So here are therapeutic uses of natron in ancient Egypt and the Greco-Roman world. It's from the National Library of Medicine. Natron, or native soda, a natural compound of sodium salts, was a very important product in ancient history. It was produced in Kemet, Middle East, and the Greece. Natron was used for medicine, cookery, agriculture, and glass making, and to dehydrate Egyptian mummies. The medicinal uses are known thanks to Egyptian pharaonic, Greek, and Latin texts, which are rich of hundreds of recipes. Those treatments concerning almost every part of the body were essentially applied externally. They are often intended to treat dermatological pathology and hydroelectrolytic disorders, as well as lesions caused by fungi and parasites. The present knowledge of the pharmacological properties of the components of natron does not explain fully its place in ancient medicine. So natron was extremely important to the ancient Kemetu, and health and healing and healing ailments, healing lesions, went into recipes, dermatology. This was a very powerful substance here that was used. So the eloquent peasant, Khnum Inpu, this was his job to make sure to collect this. So let's go into natron here. Natron, native carbonate of sodium. This is the etymology, which comes from, said to be directly from Arabic natron, itself from Greek nitron, itself possibly of Eastern origin, see nitre. Medieval Latin and Paracelsus had a form anatron from Arabic with the article assimilated, anatron. It is the source of the chemical symbol Na for sodium, which is used today. So the chemical that we use for, or the name that we use for sodium is Na, coming from natron. So let's look at here from Eastern origin, instead of saying, at least say African origin, nature, because it comes from what? It comes from the Egyptian neter, from Greek natron, which is possibly of Eastern origin. Compare Hebrew nether, carbonate of soda, Egyptian neter, originally a word for native soda. So this word natron, of course, comes from the word neter, NTR, the root consonantal sounds that make up natron, NTR, neter. Okay, so, and it also says compare nether. How is this word neter also connected to the word nether, which creates the word natron? So what is nether? Nether, Old English, down, downwards, lower, below, beneath. From Proto-Germanic, nither as, neor, Old Frisian nither, from comparative of pi ni, down, below. Also of Sanskrit, ni, down, or nitaram, downward. Once again, with the consonantals ntr, neter. Downward, Greek neothen, from below. Also an adverb, Old English, Middle English, it has been replaced in most senses by lower, that which is lower, that which is under, that which is downward, which then creates the netherworld, placed beneath the earth. So the place beneath the earth is what they call the netherworld, from the word neter. And why would the place of the netherworld be called the nether, the world of the nether, the world of the neter? Right, so let's go to the oldest spiritual writings in book form, to the Per-Im-Heru, the Papyrus of Ani. And here on page 120, we have Abba Tuat. I have traversed the netherworld, which is translated from Tuat, right here with the star, Duat, with the realm, the per, meaning it's a realm. I have traversed the netherworld. Becometh as an intelligence, Keper FM Ku, provided in the netherworld, which is what? Neter Kurt, which is very powerful. So we also have the actual physical land of the Sekhet Hammam, and being that of the natron, and the natron creating nether, and nether, of course, creating that which is under the netherworld, which comes from Neter Kurt, or the Duat. Okay, so he shall go in peace to where? Sekhet Aru. So here's that same word Sekhet, also in Sekhet Hammam, the place of the Waji Natron, the land of the salt, is Sekhet Hammam. So here it's saying on page 27 of the Per-Im-Heru, he shall go in. He should go in peace to Sekhet Aru, to no command. Once again, dealing with the sound vibration of commanding the tongue, which there's many classes on that, but going in peace. So the peaceful place in Sekhet Aru. So let's go to page 236, plate 34. The beginning of the chapters of the Sekhet Hetepu, is that word Sekhet again for field. So there's a physical field, and there's also an energetic mental field. The beginning of the chapters of the Sekhet Hetepu, in the chapters of coming forth by day, and of going and coming forth from the Neter Kurt, the netherworld, the underworld, and of arriving in the Sekhet Anru, and of being in peace in the town, word for town, Nut, the heavens, great, the great town, the lady, the Nebet of winds or breath. So here is an actual chapter of saying, going into the Seket Hetepu, right? Going out and coming forth, going to, going fro, going to, going fro, of where the Neter Kurt, the underworld, or the world that's enter, because enter and under is the same word, and of arriving. So once you go into the Neter Kurt and you arrive at the Seket Anru, after you go through a specific process of going through different challenges and different type of judgment, right? And then you arrive at the Seket Anru and of being in peace. So let me ask the chat. Let me see who knows the Seket Anru. What is the Seket Anru? It's a very famous name of a place of in the Neter Kurt. Everyone says the actual English translation, but you don't really hear too many people saying what the Meta Neter word is, which is Seket Anru. So does anyone know what the Seket Anru translates into? What is this in English? We know Seket is field. Seket is field, but what is Anru? Let me come back to the chat and see if anyone knows what Anru. Hold on, there it goes. Seket Anru. Roberto Reyes Ma'akaru says, I don't know. Great answer. All right. Let me move this light. Shannon says, Natron has very magical properties. Absolutely. Neter Kurt equals netherworld. Yep. Shannon says underworld. That is one of the names, but the Seket, specifically the Seket Anru. The Seket means field of what? Field of what? Anru. And if we look at that glyph, it kind of gives it a good hint in the actual glyph of Anru. Angela Gates says, I like the specifics Ani, or the specs Ani. Sorry, I don't know. Great answer. That's what I love to hear. Stephen E says, I don't know. My guess is the area known as Giza. Okay. So from this day, everyone will know when you hear the actual English word, because I know you've heard this English word 1,000 times. Now you'll know the actual Meta Neter word, Seket Anru, which right here translates into the field of reeds. That is the field of reeds. That is the place that we all strive to get to. The place of peace, as it says here in the Purim Haru. The day of going forth and coming out into the underworld, and of arriving in the field of reeds, and of being in peace, in Hetep. So this is the field of reeds, and you can find this in any dictionary, but this one is, I put the reference to the Vigus dictionary, the Vigus online digital dictionary. I like to show different ones to give you all different sources to utilize. So this one's from the Vigus dictionary, page 1226, Seketi Aru, the field of reeds. All right. So once again, there was a man named Kanun Anpu. He was a peasant of the Wadi Natron, right? The Seketi, the peasant. So what else does this word mean? The Sek Hek, right? The same sound vibrational tone of Sek, the Sek Hek, right? Which means what? To weigh, to balance, a measure of strength. So here we have to balance, to weigh, and then Sek Ha, to remember, to think out, to commemorate. So the same word, Seketi, Seket Hemet, creates the same vibrational tone that means to balance, a measure of length, and to remember something, to think out something. So you reap what you sow. We all have heard that. You reap what you sow. And reap is also the word for sek, as I showed earlier. It means to reap something. It means a field, to reap the field. And it also means sekek, balance, and to seka, to remember as is a very important aspect of going into the Netzerkert or the Duat or the Nesunini, many names. And it's important that we know these names, as this is where our ancestors traversed and gave us the knowledge and information of the vibrational frequencies that these places have, and gave us the guideline on what to say, what to do, to move there and end up at a place of peace. So it's very important to know these names. The Seket Anru. You reap what you sow, as above, so below. That's a rhyme that I just threw in there. The same word of the peasant and the salt fields creates the same word for the heavenly fields, where one must remember your name and have your heart weighed to enter the field of reeds, all connected with Neter. So, of course, we all are familiar with the weighing of the heart, the judgment scene. And what does that mean? To weigh something is sekek, right? And to remember your name. There's a whole chapter on remembering your name, all coming from the root word sek, to reap, and land, seka, to remember, to think out. The Seketi Aru, field of reeds. Right here, page 1226 in the Vigas Dictionary. All right. So lastly, I'll show this. From the pyramid text. We're going to go into the pyramid text, the oldest spiritual writings on the planet. And we're going to see what the Par-Ii Unas says about natron and its benefits and what it's being used for. So we're going to go here. This is at the north wall. Here is the actual Mer or Aku, the pyramid. And inside of this is the oldest spiritual writings on the planet, 2400 BCE. And we're going to start right here at utterance 33. And so, that's in this area. 32, I know, starts right here. And moves forward, as we're going to get into some of this right here. But to say Osiris, N stands for Unas. Take to thyself this thy libation, which is offered by thee, Heru. In thy name of he who is come from the cataract, take to thyself the efflux, the sweat which goes forth from thee. Heru has made me a symbol for the gods from every place to which thou goest. Heru has made me count for thee children of Heru, even to the place where thou wast drowned. Osiris Unas, take to thyself thy natron, that thou mayest be divine. So right here, it's already connecting natron, which comes from Neter, and that's what is being used to also make him divine. Take thyself thy natron, that thou mayest be divine. Nut has made thee to be as a god to thine enemy, or in spite of thee in thy name of Neter. Hernep we recognizes thee, for thou art made young in the name of fresh water, which is another name of the afterlife, the Nesunini, a place to become young again. So this is all about staying young, becoming young, right? For thou art made young in the name of fresh water. Utterance 34, right here. Smin, opens thy mouth, one pellet of natron. O Unas, thou salt taste its taste in front of thy Shin Neter chapels, one pellet of natron. That which Horus spits out as Smin, one pellet of natron. That which Set spits out as Smin, one pellet of natron. That which the two harmonious Neters spit out as Smin, one pellet of natron. To say 4 times. Which I went into the significance on why we say things 4 times. And that was in the Neter God body becoming a Neter presentation. You can go there to learn more on why we say things 4 times. Thou hast purified thyself with natron. So once again, it's association with purifying thyself, together with Heru and the followers of Heru. 5 pellets of natron from Nekeb, Upper Kemet. So once again, purification, and which is also physically used to purify the body of water, so that it can stay and maintain a state of actually physically being here. Thou, utterance 36. Thou purest thyself. Horus purifies himself. 1 pellet of natron. Thou purifies himself. Set purifies himself. 1 pellet of natron. Thou purifies thyself. Tahuti purifies himself. 1 pellet of natron. Thou purifies thyself. The Neter purifies himself. 1 pellet of natron. Thou also purifies thyself, thou who art among them. 1 pellet of natron. Thy mouth is the mouth of the suckling calf on the day of his birth. 5 pellets of natron of the north wind. Where? Wadi Natron. Seket Hemam. Where the great brother, the eloquent peasant, was in physical existence. This is where he was doing his work, collecting the natron. And now you see a powerful, beautiful ritual in the pyramid text, utilizing this natron and using it for purification. Now this peasant said these words: in the time of the majesty of the king of Upper and Lower Kemet, Neb-Ka-Ra, justified, the high steward Rinsi, son of Meru, then went before his majesty and said, what did the high steward say? This is the high steward, right? And we're talking about a peasant, which is has a negative connotation today, but we have the high steward speaking about the peasant. What's the high steward saying about the peasant? My lord, I have found one of these peasants who is truly eloquent. So hence we get the title, the eloquent peasant, from right here. Seketi, right here. Gim, I have found. 1, Ua. M, Nini. In Seketi, the peasant of what? Nefer Medu. Medu Nefer. The language of the Netzer, the language of the Nefer, meaning the beautiful speech, the perfect speech. So this is why this is titled the peasant of the eloquent peasant, the peasant of eloquent speech. And this was the title given to him by the high steward, Rinsi, son of Meru, that went before his majesty Neb-Ka-Ra. The eloquent peasant. I have found one of these peasants who is truly eloquent. So this is who we're gonna the great brother Atefrem Kema'at is going to get into and read. And now we're gonna read about this wonderful brother who had such an important job in dealing with purification and the mummification process and healing properties. So I wanted us to really understand how important of each job it was for each person in Kemet, and how each person played a vital role in the longevity of Kemet. And no matter whether your title is peasant or whether it's Par-Ii, it is all extremely relevant and very important. Each role that is played. And everyone who played their positions played it to the highest ability. They did what they were supposed to do at the highest level, and they incorporated their spiritual teachings. They incorporated Ma'at into the actual physical work. And so as they're doing the physical work, they're already mentally preparing themselves for the final transition of what's called death. And as I just showed, and going into the Seket and the Seket Anru, the field of reeds, and him being in the Seket, a field, a physical field, and knowing that there's an actual mental field right there on top of him. So this is the eloquent peasant. And now let's get into the actual reading. And I hope you all appreciated this, and Tua for your attention.
All right. Tua for you, good brother. That was absolutely eloquent, my brother. That was Nefer. I love it. 2 out for that, brother. I got to give you a great hand clap because I was definitely inspired. I usually don't read much of the stories before I present them. But this one I was reading and I was listening to someone else's reading. And 2 out for that great presentation because that was absolutely amazing.
Yes.
Good brothers.
Great breakdown.
2 out for that. And it definitely gives more context. I was stuck. I was looking like, wow, that's beautiful, man. 2 out for that. So let me go ahead and begin and let me share my screen. Share my entire screen. Right there. Share. Am I sharing? Am I sharing my screen?
Yes.
Yes, you
Okay.
are.
So we're going to read, I have put together the actual papyrus. This is the tale of the eloquent peasant. I don't know if y'all can see this. I'm not going to go into it, but we're reading from page 25 from this book right here. As my great brother demonstrated ancestral artifacts over religious opinion. That was brought forth by our great Saba Tahuti, Amenhotep Ra. And this is the actual papyrus as he showed. And we're reading from this book right here, page 25 from the literature of ancient Egypt. And we will begin. So I don't have to go into context. My great brother Ani went into context. So this is the tale of the eloquent peasant. This text dating from the Middle Kingdom combines the format of the short story with that of the poetic meditation on the need for justice. The narrative of the text is straightforward. A peasant robbed of his goods makes an appeal to the chief steward of the crown. He makes 9 separate petitions which constitute the poetic section of the composition. After his first appeal, the chief steward is so impressed with the eloquence of the peasant that following the order of the king, he refuses to help the petitioner. The peasant is thus forced to return time and again, demonstrating each time his ability with rhetoric, and each time his words are recorded for the entertainment of the king. Eventually, the peasant receives justice and in recompense is given the property of the rich man who had robbed him. The appeal of the text is not so much in its actual content as in the artistic manner in which that content is expressed. We already see that that's not really true, but this is what William Kelly Simpson said. For it says nothing new or significant on this subject. That's not true neither. The subject of the peasant's speeches is the Egyptian concept of Ma'at. This in itself presents a problem of translation. Should we understand the peasant to be speaking about Ma'at, the personalized goddess and abstract concept of order and righteousness? Or is he speaking simply in terms of practical justice? For the purpose of the present translation, I have preferred to retain the Egyptian Ma'at as his term. I believe conveys a better impression of the Egyptian original. The text has been published several times, but the most recent and most convenient edition is R.B. Parkinson, The Tale of the Eloquent Peasant, Oxford, 1991. It is this edition which I have used for the preparation of this present translation. However, for the convenience of readers who may wish to make comparison with other translations, I have retained the older system of line numbering. Other modern translations may be found in Merriam-Litcham, Ancient Egyptian Literature, Volume 1, Berkeley, 1973, 169 to 84, and R.B. Parkinson, The Tale of Sinahu and Other Ancient Egyptian Poems, 1940 to 1640 BC, Oxford, 1997, lines 50 to 88. The translation of R.O. Faulkner in the early edition of this book should also be noted, as it shows a number of variations in the interpretation of various passages of the text. Let's get into it. There was once a man whose name was Kunanoop. He was a peasant of Sekhet Hemet, and he had a wife named Meret. Now this peasant said to his wife, Behold, I am going down to Kemet in order to bring provisions from there for my children. Go and measure for me the barley which is in the storehouse, that which remains from last year's barley. His wife did as he had requested, and then he set out for his 6 measures of barley. Then the peasant said to his wife, Behold, there are 20 measures of barley as food for you and your children. Now make these 6 measures of barley into bread and beer for me as daily rations, that I may live on them. So the peasant then set out for Kemet, having loaded his donkeys with reeds, herbs, natron, salt, wood from Tayu, staves of taminament, leopard skins, jackal hides, nisha plants, anu plants, tenim plants, keparu plants, sahut, sakut, masut plants, senet stones, abba stones, ishsa plants, enbi plants, pigeons, naru birds, wedges, birds, tebu, webbin plants, tebis plants, ganingent berries, and inset reeds, a full abundance of all the finest products of Sekhet Hemet. The peasant continued on his way, traveling southward in the direction of Nini Nasut, and arrived at the district of Per Fifi, to the north of Medinet. There he encountered a man standing on the riverbank whose name was Nimtai Neketi. He was the son of a man whose name was Isri, and he was a subordinate of the chief steward Rinsi, the son of Meru. Then this Nimtai Nekti, when he had seen the peasants' donkeys, which greatly delighted his heart, spoke, saying, Would that I had some of the charm endowed with power, through which I might confiscate the possessions of this peasant. Now the house of this Nimtai Nekti was at the juncture of the beginning of a narrow path, one which was not broad enough to exceed the width of a loincloth. One side of it was bounded by water, and the other side by barley. Then Nektim Nekti said to his servant, Go and bring me a piece of clothing from my house. Immediately it was brought to him, and he stretched it out over the juncture of the beginning of the path, so that its fringes touched the water, and its hem the barley. Now, the peasant was traveling along the public road, and Nektim Nekti said, Watch out, peasant, do not tread on my clothing. Then the peasant said, I shall do what pleases you, for my path is good. So he went toward the higher ground. Then Nektim Nekti said, Is my barley to be a path for you? Then the peasant said, My path is good, but the bank is steep, so my way must be through the barley, for you are obstructing the road with your clothing. Will you not let us pass on the road? He had just finished speaking these words when one of the donkeys filled his mouth with an ear of barley. Then Nektim Nekti, Neket, said, So now I shall confiscate your donkey, peasant, because he is eating my barley. Behold, he will tread again because of his crime. But the peasant replied, My path is good, and only one ear of barley has been harmed. Could I buy back my donkey for its value? If you should seize him for filling his mouth with an ear of barley. Moreover, I know the owner of this estate. It is that the property of the chief steward Rinsi, the son of Meru, and he curbs every thief in this entire district. Am I to be robbed on his estate? Then Nektim Neketi retorted, Is there not a well-known proverb? A poor man's name is pronounced only for the sake of his master. I am speaking to you, and do you dare to invoke the chief steward? Then he took for himself a switch of green tamarisk, beat his whole body with it, confiscated his donkeys, and drove them to his estate. Then the peasant lamented exceedingly through grief for what had been done to him. But Nimtin Nekti said, Do not raise your voice, peasant. Behold, you will go to the domain of the Lord of Silence. Then the peasant replied, You whip me, you take away my property, and you even take the very lament out of my mouth? By the Lord of silence, give me back my property. Only then will I desist from my wailing, which so disturbs you. So the peasant spent a period of 10 days pleading with Nectemneti, but he paid no attention to it. So the peasant made his way to Nini Nasut in order to petition the chief steward Rinsi, the son of Meru. He met him just as he was coming out of the door of his house to board his official barge. Then the peasant said, I would like to be permitted to inform you about this situation of mine. There is good reason that a faithful assistant of yours should be charged to come to me, so that I may send him back to you to tell you about it. Then the chief steward Rinsi, the son of Meru, ordered a faithful assistant to come to him. And the peasant sent him back to him concerning the matter in its every detail. Then the chief steward Rinsi, the son of Meru, laid a charge against Nectemneti to the magistrates who were under his jurisdiction. They, however, said to him, in all likelihood, this is one of his peasants who has gone over to someone other than him. After all, this is the way they usually deal with peasants who go to the jurisdiction of someone else. Yes, this is the way they handle such things. Is there any reason to punish Nectemneti on account of a few scraps of natron and a bit of salt? He will be ordered to return it, and return it he will. Then the chief steward Rinsi, the son of Meru, kept silent, neither replying to the magistrates nor giving answers to the peasant. Then the peasant came to make petition to the chief steward Rinsi, the son of Meru, saying, O chief steward, my lord, greatest of the great, arbiter of everything, both that which is yet to be and that which now is. If you descend to the lake of Ma'at, you will sail therein in the breeze. The fabric of your sail will not be torn, nor will your boat be driven ashore. There will be no damage to your mast, nor will your yards be broken. You will not founder when you come to land, nor will the waves bear you away. You will not taste the perils of the river, nor will you gaze upon the face of fear. The swiftly swimming fish will come to you, and you will catch many fatted fowl. For you are a father to the orphan, a husband to the widow, a brother to her who has been cast out, the clothing of him who has no mother. Permit me to exalt your name in this land, in accordance with every good law, a leader untainted by greed, a noble unpolluted by vice, one who obliterates deceit, one who nurtures Ma'at, one who answers the plea of him who raises his voice. I shall speak, and surely you will hearken. Fulfill Ma'at, O exalted one, exalted even by those who are themselves exalted. Relieve my distress, for lo, I am afflicted. Take heed to me, for lo, I am in anguish. Now the peasant spoke these words during the time of his majesty, the king of Upper and Lower Egypt. Nebuchadnezzar, the justified. Then the chief steward Rinsi, the son of Meru, went before his majesty and said, My lord, I have found someone among the peasants who is exceedingly eloquent of speech. His property was stolen by a man who is in my service, and behold, he has come to petition me about it. Then his majesty said, As you desire to see me healthy, cause him to remain here, without replying to anything which he says, and so that he may keep on speaking, remain silent. Then let his words be brought to us in writing, that we may hear them. However, provide the means so that his wife and his children may live. For behold, one of these peasants comes to the city only when there is nothing in his house. And furthermore, provide the means so that the peasant himself may live. You will see that food be supplied to him without letting him know that it is you who is giving it to him. So there was a portion to him 10 loaves of bread and 2 jugs of beer every day. The one who supplied them was the chief steward Rinsi, the son of Meru. he would give them to a friend of his, and he would give them to the peasant. Then the chief steward Rinsi, the son of Meru, wrote to the governor of Sekhet Hemet about the issuing of provisions for the peasant's wife, 3 measures of barley every day. Then the peasant came to petition him a second time, saying, O chief steward, my lord, greatest of the great, wealthiest of the wealthy, in you those who are great know one who is greater, and those who are wealthy know one who is wealthier. O helm of heaven, support beam of the earth, O plumb line which carries the weight, helm, do not steer off course. Support beam, do not list. Plumb beam, do not vacillate. A mighty lord should recover that which its owner has lost, and defend the desolate. What you require is already in your house, a jar of beer and 3 loaves of bread. What will it cost you to recompense those who appeal to you? One who is mortal perishes along with those who are under him. Do not expect to live forever. Surely these things are wrong. A balance which tilts, a plummet which errs, a precise and honest man who becomes a deceiver. Behold, Ma'at flees from you, driven from her throne. Nobles perpetrate crimes, and rectitude of speech is overturned. Judges steal what has already been stolen, and he who can twist a matter in just the right way can make a mockery of it. He who supplies the winds languishes on the ground. He who refreshes the nostrils now causes men to gasp. The arbiter is now a thief, and he who should quell distress is one who creates its origin. The town is flooded with wrong, and he who should punish evil now perpetrates crimes. Then the chief steward Rinsi, the son of Meru, said, Is your obstinacy greater than the fear that my servant might seize you? But the peasant continued, He who measures the tax allotment embezzles for himself. He who administers on behalf of another steals his goods. He who should rule in accordance with the law condones thievery. Then, who is there to redress evil? He who should dispel crimes commits transgressions. One is meticulous in perversity, and another gains respect because he commits crimes. Do you see herein anything referring to yourself? Punishment now is short, but iniquity is extensive. Yet a good deed will bring its own reward. For there's a proverb, do for one who may do for you, that you may cause him thus to do. This is like thanking him for what he will do. It is like warding off something rather than attacking it. It is like entrusting something to a skilled artisan. Would that you might know a moment of destruction, devastation in your vineyard, dearth among your birds, destruction among your water birds. Let him who sees now become blind. Let him who hears now become deaf. For he who used to guide now guides but to confusion. Behold, you are mighty and powerful, yet your hand is stretched out, your heart is greedy, and compassion has passed far beyond you. How destitute is the wretched whom you destroy. You are like unto a messenger of Kinti. You exceed even the lady of pestilence. If it is not your concern, it is not her concern. If something does not affect her, it does not affect you. If you have not done something, she has not done it. He who is well provided should be compassionate. For force belongs only to the desperate, and theft is natural only for him who has nothing of his own. That which is theft when done by the criminal is only a misdemeanor when done by him who is in want. One cannot be wrathful with him on account of it, for it is only a means of seeking something for himself. You, however, are satisfied with your bread and content with your beer. You abound in all manner of clothing. The gaze of the steersman is directed forward, but the ship drifts of its own will. The king is in its palace, and the tiller is in your hand. But evil is done all around you. Lengthy is my petition, and heavy is my lot. People will say, what business does that fellow have? Construct a refuge. Keep your riverbank hale, for behold, your abode reeks of crocodiles. Be meticulous with your tongue, so as not to let it wander, for the power which is in it is the abomination of man. Do not utter falsehood. Keep prudent the magistrates. The judges are an insatiable belly. The speaking of falsehood is like fine herbs for them, for such poison is pleasant to the hearts. You who know the affairs of all men, can you ignore my plight? You who can extinguish the peril of all waters, behold, I am on a voyage without a boat. You who are safe harbor for all who are drowning. Rescue one who has been shipwrecked. Deliver me from my plight, for you are mighty. Then the peasant came to petition him a third time, saying, Chief steward, my lord, you are Re, the Lord of heaven, with your attendants. The provisions of all mankind are from you, as from the flood. You are happy, who makes verdant the fields and revives the desert. Punisher of the thief, defender of the distressed. Become not a raging torrent against the supplicant. Be vigilant against the approach of eternity. Cherish length of life, for as is the saying, to do ma'at is the breath of the nostrils. Inflict punishment on him who merits punishment. And none will resemble you in your integrity. Will the balance be off? Will the scale tilt to one side? Will Tahuti be merciful, and then you do wrong? You must show yourself the equal of these three. As these three are benign, so you must be benign. Neither answer good with evil, nor put one thing in the place of another. For speech grows more rapidly than weeds, to find the breath for its answer. Then wrong will pour forth more readily than one spreads out garments. This is my third attempt to make you act. You must steer your course by minding the sail. Ride the waves so as to do ma'at. Be on guard, for you could run aground through the tiller rope. But the stability of the land is to do ma'at. Do not utter falsehood, for you are noble. Do not be petty, for you are distinguished. Do not utter falsehood, for you are a balance. Do not go off course, for you are impartiality. Behold, you are the soul, one with the balance. If it wavers, then you will waver. Do not drift, steer your course. Pull on the tiller rope. Do not rob, but take action against the robber. He is not truly great who is great only in greed. Your tongue is the plummet. Your heart is the weight, and your two lips are its arms. If you veil your face against brutality, who then will reprove evil? Behold, you are a despicable scrubman, one so grasping as to abuse a friend, one who would abandon his friend in favor of a fawner, one whose brother is he who comes and brings him a bribe. Behold, you are a ferryman who transports only him who has the fare, an honest man whose honesty has been truncated. Behold, you are the supervisor of a storehouse, who does not permit a poor man to buy on credit. Behold, you are a hawk to the commoners, one who lives on the most worthless of the birds. Behold, you are a butcher whose delight is slaughter, and the mutilation therefore means nothing to him. Behold, you are a poor shepherd of the flock, for you take no heed. Act, therefore, less like a gluttonous crocodile, for there is no safety in any town of its entire land. Hearer, you do not hear, yet why do you not hear? Have I today repulsed the marauder? Does the crocodile recoil? What profit is it in it for you? For the truth which was hidden has now been found, and deceit is thrown backwards upon the earth. Do not dispose tomorrow when it has not yet arrived, for no one knows the evil thereof. Now, the peasant had spoken this speech to the chief steward Rensi, the son of Meru, at the entrance to the court. Then Rensi caused 2 attendants to set upon him with whips, and they thrashed his every limb. Then the peasant said, the son of Meru is in error, for his face is blind to what he should see and deaf to what he should hear, and his heart neglects what has been brought to his attention. Behold, you are like a city without a governor, like a people without a ruler, like a ship on which there is no captain, like a crowd without a leader. Behold, you are a constable who steals, a governor who takes bribes, a district administrator responsible for suppressing crime, but who has become the archetype of the perpetrator. Then the peasant came to petition him a 4th time. He found him coming out from the gate of the temple of Harishif. And he said, O gracious one, may Harishif be gracious to you, he whose temple you have just come. Goodness is annihilated, for there is no fidelity to it, no desire to fling deceit backwards upon the earth. If the ferry has been beached, then how can one cross the river? Success is attained only in admonition. To cross the river on foot, is this a feasible way to cross? Such cannot be done. Who now can sleep peacefully until the dawn? Vanish now, is walking during the night, or even traveling by day, or permitting a man to stand up for his own cause, even though it be truly excellent? But behold, there is no gain for him who tells you these things, for compassion has passed far beyond you. How destitute is the wretched whom you destroy. Behold, you are a fisherman who fully satisfies himself, one who is determined to do what he desires, one who harpoons hippopotami, shoots wild bulls, catches fish, and snares birds. But he who is hasty of speech is not free from indiscreet talk, and he who is light of heart is not serious of mind. Be patient so that you may learn Ma'at. Control your own preference so that the humble petitioner may again. There is no impetuous man who attains to excellence. There is no impatient man to whom authority is given. Let your eyes see, let your heart be instructed. Do not be tyrannical in your power, that evil may not overtake you. If you ignore one incident, it will become 2. It is the eater who tastes. It is he who is questioned who answers. It is the sleeper who sees the dream. As for the judge who merits punishment, he is the archetype for him who does wrong. Idiot, behold, you are struck. You know nothing, and behold, you are questioned. You are an empty vessel, and behold, you are exposed. Helmsman, do not let your ship veer off course. Giver of life, do not let men die. Provider, do not let men perish. Sunshade, do not attract the heart of the sun. Refuge, do not let the crocodile carry me off. This is the 4th time I appeal to you. Must I spend all my time at it? Then the peasant came to petition him a 5th time, saying, O chief steward, my lord, the Kudu fisherman kills the eye fish. The spearer of fish harpoons the abeb fish. The Ajebhu fisherman spears the taka fish. And the Ucha, fisherman, plunders the river. Behold, you are much the same as them. Do not deprive a pauper of his goods, one known to you as a lonely man. His possessions are the very breath of a pauper, and stealing them is like plugging his nose. You were appointed to judge complaints, to judge between two disputants, and to curb the thief when he steals. But behold, your actions are a support of the thief. Men trust you, but you have become a transgressor. You were appointed as a dam for the destitute, that he may not drown. But behold, you are a torrent raging against him. Then the peasant came to petition him a sixth time, saying, O chief steward, my lord, he who fosters ma'at diminishes falsehood, and he who fosters goodness is a destroyer of evil. As when satisfaction comes and ends hunger, as when clothing ends nakedness, as when the sky is calm after a high wind and warms all who are cold, as when fire cooks what is raw, as when water quenches thirst. Look right before your face. The arbiter is the despoiler. He who should make peace now creates misery. He who should create calm now causes trouble. But he who deceives diminishes ma'at. So fulfill your duty well, that ma'at may be neither defrauded nor made extreme. If you receive something, share it with your companion. For to devour something selfishly is a lack of righteousness. But my misery leads only to my departing. My complaint brings only my dismissal. No one knows what is in the heart. Do not be idle, but attend to my accusation. For if you destroy something, who will restore it? The sounding pole is in your hand like an unused pole. For by chance the water happens to be deep. But if the boat should run aground, it will be ransacked, and its cargo cast onto the land on every shore. You are educated, you are intelligent, you are proficient, but certainly not in order to steal. But look at yourself. You make yourself just like everyone else. Your deeds are perversive. And the example for all men is now the deceiver of the entire land. He who tends the garden of evil waters his field with corruption, and cultivates his plot with falsehood, so as to irrigate iniquity forever. Then the peasant came to petition him a seventh time, saying, O chief steward, my lord, you are the rudder of the entire land, and the land voyages in accordance with your guidance. You are the equal of Tahuti, one who judges without discrimination. My lord, be patient, that a man may entreat you about his righteous cause. Be not vexed, for it does not suit you. He who looks too far ahead will become disquieted. So, do not dwell on what has not yet befallen, and do not rejoice about what has not yet happened. Patience prolongs friendship. But as for him who neglects a fault which has been committed, there is no one who knows what is in his heart. If law is subverted and integrity destroyed, there is no poor man who will be able to live, for he will be cheated and ma'at will not support him. Now, my body was full, my heart was burdened, and it has poured from my body of its own accord. There was a break in the dam, its water gushed out, and my mouth opened to speak. Then I plied my sounding pole and drained off the flood within me. I have unburdened what was in my body. I have washed my soiled linen. My harangue is now completed. My misery is full in your sight. What now do you lack? Your indulgence will mislead you. Your greed will deceive you, and your cupidity will increase your foes. But will you ever again encounter another peasant like myself? For one who is indolent, will a petitioner remain at the door of his house? There is no one who was silent whom you caused to speak. There is no one who was sleeping whom you caused to wake. There is no one who were exhausted whom you have revived. There is no one who was closed-mouthed whom you have opened. There is no one who is ignorant whom you have made wise. There is no one who was unlearned whom you have taught. But magistrates are responsible for driving out evil. They are masters of goodness. They are artisans who bring into being that which exists. They are responsible for joining the head which has been cut off. Then the peasant came to petition him an 8th time, saying, O chief steward, my lord, men flounder because of selfishness. The greedy man lacks success, for his only success is failure. You are greedy, but it gains you nothing. You steal, but it is no profit to you. Now, permit a man to stand up for his cause, which is truly good. You have your provisions in your house, and your belly is full. Your grain is excessive and even overflows, and what issues forth perishes on earth. You are a rogue, a thief, an extortioner. Yet magistrates are commissioned to suppress evil, as safeguards against the aggressor. Magistrates are empowered to fight falsehood. It is not fear of you which causes me to petition you. You do not know my heart. A lowly man who turns again and again to make complaint to you, one who does not fear him to whom he makes his petition, one whose equal will not be brought to you from any quarter of town. You have a plantation in the country. You have a salary in the administration. You have provisions in the storehouse. The officials pay you, and still you steal. Are you an extortioner? Do men bring bribes to you, and to the henchmen with you at all the allotments of the farmlands? Perform Ma'at for the sake of the Lord of Ma'at, for the constancy of his Ma'at is absolute. You are the pen, the papyrus, the palette of Tahuti, so keep far from doing of wrong. That goodness should be potent is excellent indeed. That goodness should be potent is excellent indeed. For Ma'at will endure until eternity, and go down to the grave with him who performs it. He will be buried, and the earth will enfold him, but his name will never vanish upon the earth, for he will be remembered because of his goodness. Such is the integrity of the decree of the Netter. It is a balance, and it does not tilt. It is a scale, and it does not lean to the side. Whether it is I or another who comes before you, you must acknowledge him. Do not give back to him the reply of a silent man. Do not abuse one who himself has done no abuse. But you show no compassion. You are neither concerned nor perturbed. You do not give me due recompense for this fine speech, which comes from the mouth of Re himself. Speak Ma'at, perform Ma'at, for it is great, it is exalted, it is enduring, it is integrity. Its integrity is evident, and it will cause you to attain the state of veneration. Can a balance tilt? It is its scale pans, which bears things, and there must be no exceeding the measure. A criminal action does not reach safe harbor, but he who is humble will reach land. Then the peasant came to petition him a 9th time, saying, O chief steward, my lord, men's balance is their tongue. It is the scale which determines what is lacking. Inflict punishment on him to whom punishment is due, so that men may conform to your integrity. As for falsehood, its deeds may flourish, but Ma'at will turn herself to balance it. Ma'at is the final end of falsehood, and falsehood will diminish to be seen no more. If falsehood walks, it goes astray. It does not cross in the ferry, and it makes no headway. As for him who prospers through it, he will have no children, he will have no heirs upon earth. As for him who sails with it, he does not reach land, and his boat does not arrive at its mooring place. Do not be ponderous, but do not be frivolous. Do not be tardy, but do not hurry. Do not be partial, and do not give in to a whim. Do not cover your face against one whom you know. Do not blind your sight against one whom you have seen. Do not spurn one who entreats you. Turn away from this slothfulness, and let your decision be pronounced. Act on behalf of the one who has been active in appealing to you. Do not listen to everyone, but respond to a man in accordance with his righteous cause. An idle man has no past. One who is deaf to Ma'at has no friend. He who is grasping never has a joyful day. He who suffers will become wretched, and he who is wretched will become a plaintiff. But an enemy may become a killer. Behold, I appeal to you, but you do not hear it. I shall now depart and appeal about you to Anubis. Then the chief steward Rinsi, the son of Meru, had 2 attendants go to bring him back. Then the peasant was frightened, for he assumed that punishment would be inflicted upon him because of this speech which he had made. Then the peasant said, like a thirsty man's approach to water, like the reaching out of the mouth of the child of a nursing woman for milk, such is death for one who seeks it. When he sees it coming, when his death, long delayed, finally comes. Then the chief steward Rinsi, the son of Meru, said, have no fear, peasant. Behold, you will act in accordance with what is done on your part. Then the peasant swore an oath, saying, on my life shall I eat of your bread and drink of your beer forever. Then the chief steward Rinsi, the son of Meru, said, now wait here, and you will hear your appeals. Then he had someone read from a new scroll every petition word for word. Then the chief steward Rinsi, the son of Meru, dispatched them to his majesty, the king of Upper and Lower Egypt, Nepkari, the justified, and they were pleasing to his heart more than anything which was in this entire land. Then his majesty said, son of Meru, give the verdict yourself. Then the chief steward Rinsi, the son of Meru, caused the guards to go to bring Neptimnekti. He was brought in, and a list was made of his property, 6 servants, along with his barley, his emmer, his donkeys, his pigs, and his flocks of Nimtanekti was given to the peasant. It has reached its conclusion. Hotep. Am I screen sharing still?
No, you're not. You're not screen sharing.
Brother, peace.
Peace.
Man, the brother got his stuff back. He had to go to the brother 9 times and appeal to the chief steward 9 times. Brother, what did you think? Have you read that story before?
I have not read that story before, and I really enjoyed how much it talked about. I mean, it's the story, but of course, I noticed when Ma'at and Tahuti are mentioned, and so I took a few notes of things that I appreciated in it. But that is an amazing, powerful story.
Is Ani there? Ani, you there, good brother?
Peace. Yes, I'm here. Let me
Peace and love to you, Angela Gates. 2 out for that. Yeah, that's a deep story, brother. That brother say, oh, I got to go back to see what part he said. It made me laugh. I got to go back to it. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, that was my first time reading it in its entirety. I was listening to another some other brother read it. He was reading it in an Arabic in an Arabic tone, and he was explaining it, but it was nothing like how you broke it down, Ani. Nothing like that. It made more sense when you broke it down. Yeah, it was excellent. That was beautiful there. I'm trying to find this one part. Let me go back to it. Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, that was phenomenal. Yeah, he like you said, he had to go make a petition 9 different times, and he got his stuff back. He was like, no, that just goes to show the persistence, the consistency of if you want something, especially if it's yours, something was taken from you, you need to get that back. And he did it through speech, and that's the beautiful thing about it. He did it through his sound vibration.
I'm looking at this. I'm trying to find the line I wanted to talk about. Drop your comments in the chat. Tell us what you thought. To Angela Gates for that. I didn't read. I was reading. I couldn't see. Let me go back. I got it. I got a big part and a small part of it.
While you look, can I share a few lines that stood out to
brother.
me?
Yes, go ahead. Absolutely. Go ahead.
I just took notes. So there's a couple lines that I really like. The stability of the land is to do ma'at. Actually, before that is a good thing will bring its own reward. I love that. To do ma'at is the breath of the nostril. Will Tahuti be merciful? I really like that line. The stability of the land is to do ma'at. Be patient that you may learn ma'at. Yes. He who fosters ma'at diminishes falsehoods. Bomb drop. You are a equal of Tahuti. Perform ma'at for the sake of the Lord of ma'at. For ma'at will endure unto eternity. Speak ma'at, perform ma'at, for it is great, it is exalted, it is enduring, its integrity is evident, and it will cause you to attain the state of veneration. And I looked up veneration, and I looked up the etymology of veneration, the definition, and like the American dictionary said, great respect. Veneration is great respect or reverence. And then in the etymology dictionary, veneration is profoundest respect. So those are some of the lines that I liked.
Veneration goes back to love too and desire.
Yes. I saw that in the etymology dictionary.
It says line 160. It says he is not truly great who is great only in greed. That, you know how the greedy people, they act like they so great, how they act like they so big. It says he is not truly great who is great only in greed. Your tongue is the plummet, your heart is the weight. Listen, that man, our ancestors were so beautiful. This is I'm not mad. I'm not mad that I'm just now learning about our ancestors. But shout out to Martin Luther King and shout out to all the other great brothers that came. But yeah, we don't know our history, man. And I would like to say that I'm ashamed to say that I'm just now reading this beautiful story, but I'm not because you know, we only got right now, so better now than never.
Yes.
And that's why I decided to bring the fourth towards you. Go ahead, brother.
Oh, I was just gonna say no shame. I didn't mean to cut your build. I'm sorry. I was just ad-libbing.
Yeah, now I was just saying, you know, that all of these stories are great. They're there. They were left for us. You know, our ancestors left a treasure trove of stories and poems and just, and as listen, I had went to the British Museum and I had pulled up the scroll. Let me see if I could show it. I had pulled up the show.
Ahead. Keep going.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I had pulled up the papyrus to show.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see the show. Boom, right there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it shows all of the hieratic and all of the different scrolls and all the ancestral artifacts. It's there. It's all there, you know. Mm-hmm. And I remember when I first heard Saba say that, I was like ancestral artifacts. You know, it made so much sense then when he said it, and it's just like, wow, you know, it's so simple, but yet we so far removed from it because we are educated by the enemy. You know, it's the enemy that educates us, and they're teaching us what they want us to know, which is, you know, like I said, shout out to all the great brothers, Marcus Garvey and Martin Luther King and all the great brothers. I'm not taking anything away from them great brothers and what they brought forth, but at the same time, our ancestors in Kemet, thousands of years before them, brought forth just is what they left for us is incomparable. It doesn't even compare. It's not, you know, it's just, I don't know. I'm just so thankful and I'm just honored to be here with you brothers. Hanu for holding me down last week. I was down for the count, brother. I don't know what's going on out there. Y'all protect yourself. Take y'all vitamin C and zinc or whatever y'all take to keep healthy. Drink your teas, stay hydrated. But I was I tried to stay, but I couldn't. But I'm so glad that I was able to come back today and read this and share and bring forth. And Anya, you just made it even that much better, brother. Shout out to looks like the good brother trying to come in. Yeah,
them brother, whoever wrote that story was writing, was scribing, was getting a Tahuti on. Like, that is a beautiful story. You're absolutely correct. We got to find those ancestral artifacts that will lead us in the right direction, the guidance that Saba Tahuti shares with us consistently. These kind of stories are very important because not too many people are sharing this kind of information with us. Peace, brother Hati.
Period.
Hanu.
To you, good brother.
Peace.
Hotel.
Peace.
Hotel, great brother.
It's a little loud where I'm at, so I'm going to make it short. But
we can hear you.
Oh, okay, great. I hope everybody on the panel is doing excellent. Atef, I caught the reading, the end. And, man, I know we don't get a lot of views off these stories, but they're so vital. I mean, they're so vital in situations where you might be alone or you're dealing with something emotionally or whatever it is that's going on in your life. You can always refer back to these stories because these are actual people that lived and went through them themselves. So you can actually emulate their coups, you can emulate their spirits and actually take that in. Eventually, it will just assimilate into your own life. And then whatever you're going through, it doesn't matter what it is, you can refer to a certain aspect of one of our ancestors in these stories, like the Elgin peasant, like the shipwrecked sailor, like many others, and you can implement it into your life. And you will be okay because the main point, if you notice in these stories, is ma'at. That's the main factor of these stories. And I know a lot of you that are regulars here, you know this already. But do you know it when you're actually going through something that you don't like, that makes you uncomfortable, or whatever you perceive uncomfortable that's in your life? Do you actually implement ma'at? That's the whole point of this. That's why the brothers and I and Saab and everybody's doing this, because we implement what our ancestors went through into our own lives, because nothing has changed. It's still the same emotions. It's still the same spirits. It's still the same energy that all of us are living through. And I'll tell you, the brothers already know. I have these books. They're falling apart because I underline them so much. And they're actually what I utilize daily and fall back on. And it makes the difference between it makes a difference of a family member or a friend coming up to you and saying, hey, is everything okay? Or what you're going through is a problem. But the more you start taking in the energy of the ancestors, you'll see that your problems are, there is no problem. I don't know how else to say this, but there is no problem. There's only different perspectives of the experience that we're going through. And I'm really appreciative to the brothers that they're doing this, because I'm in a position now where I can't actually do this. And it's really good that Etef is so passionate at what he does, that he's that his love for the Pauti is unshakable and unbreakable, and that's why he is the Techechiu, as you can see in this title. And this goes to all the brothers. Menku too. Menku, his spirit is radiant. It's bright. It's just like the Ubin. And Ani is Ani's a powerhouse when it comes to his passion for all of you out in the chat into the movement. And we're all just radiating off the teachings that we got from our great Saba, Henu to Saba Tahuti Amenhotep Ra, Henu to our great Par-Ii, because that's what he is. He is the Par-Ii. He's the only quote-unquote black man, melanated, whatever label you want to put on him. He's the only person I know that took time out of his life to not only teach me, but to teach all of you, so that we can wake up to a new reality. Because that's all that's going on, is a reality that's been created for us that we don't have to exist in if we don't want to. It's really, it might be complicated because we were bred differently here. But once you start growing in this truth and this knowledge, you start getting the stories. I can't emphasize this enough. Get into the stories. And again, I know it brings low views, but the stories is where it's at when you're alone, and you need to turn to something to keep you moving forward, to keep you in that spirit of Kepara. And I learned that early on from Saba Tahuti. I learned that early on from him. And it meant the world to me, because basically it came down to this. If I wasn't able to become passionate about this, there would be none of this going on right now. I would have broke away from Saba, and I don't know what would have happened. So I just feel so deeply and passionate about our ancestors that I really, there's nothing I really can say to bring them the glory, the honor that they deserve. The brothers, especially Ani, but maybe all the brothers on the panel probably are already noticing how people are treating them now without them even opening their mouth. That people are showing them a new respect without them even saying a word to them. They just feel it off you. So there's so much that has been given to us that for me just to rattle on with some words, it to me personally is not enough. What we can do for them is if you're watching tonight, and it's okay if you're just here for classes or whatever you're perceiving this to be. To me, I'm perceiving this as the future generations breaking out of what we're presently in Western society or Eastern society, because everything is owned by the J people, that our future generations can break out of this. That's why I'm here, for nation building. And to build a nation, you have to actually live it. You actually have to go through the uncomfortable points in your life. You have to deal with issues you really don't want to deal with. You have to go through situations that you don't want to go through. It's just something we have to do. And it's all down to a perspective. And it's all down to, are you going to be a Tichet? Are you going to be that backbone? Are you going to be that strength for your people? That's what it comes down to, at least for me. But I know it comes down to that for Saba and the brothers on the panel and some of the sisters. To me, this is not a game. This is life. I am not happy at this existence I was bred into, but I am happy when I'm living in Ma'at. And I'm not afraid of any type of energy that comes my way. And I know the warrior brothers and sisters out there aren't either. And if you're on the fence about joining us, if you're on the fence about supporting us, just bring us any of your best conscious people. I hate these labels because to me, they really don't mean anything. It's what you're doing means more to me. And but bring whoever you want. And I guarantee we will shut them down. And this is not just some ego trip. This is to show you by example of who we are. This is something that is only going to come once in your lifetime. And I talk to people in the street, and I ask if some of the stuff that I tell them, have they ever heard before? And they say no. So this is once in a lifetime. If you're on the fence, join us. Join us. There's no better investment. You can see the work that Brother Ani puts in. You can see the work that Menkur Ra puts in. You can see the work that Atef puts in. You can see the work that Primordial Thought's starting to put in. You can see the work that Stephen E is starting to put in. You can see the work that other people that are behind the scenes are putting in. And you can see the great work our Par EE, Saba Tahuti, is putting in. And this type of spirit, this type of coup has to be carried on for generations and generations. Else what we're doing here tonight is going to fizzle out eventually. And I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but that's just how things go. That's why I jumped on tonight. I wasn't even going to jump on. I already notified the brothers ahead of time. I wasn't going to jump on, and here I am because I realized that this is so important to me, to us, to everyone that's here tonight, that I got to do. I'm eating right now. This is a little time I have to eat, and I put that to the side just so I could jump in. So that's the type of dedication that we're looking for brothers and sisters, because we need your strength just like you need ours. It's a reciprocated movement here. And I'm going to give the platform back to the brothers, the great brothers. I'm going to hop off and finish my meal here. And I just want to say to everybody that stands for Ma'at, whether it's life or death, I honor you and I love you, and you can always reach out to me. Henu Ma'at.
Henu Ma'at. Henu to you, great brother. Yeah, there's no way I could do this for views, brother. I don't do this for views. I don't do this for clout. I do this Unki and Ma'at. This is why I'm so passionate about the affirmation, just those small little words, few words. This is why I do this, because Ma'at is everything, brother. So the people that need to hear it need to hear this, because like I said, we know all the other stories. We know all the other stories because we are educated by our enemy. So we know all the other stories. And like I said, shout out to all the great brothers that tried and that did their part. And whatever they brought forth, we had other movements, we had, other organizations, but none of them, the foundation was Ma'at. This is why they're not around today. And this is why the tale of the eloquent peasant is still here. And it is in the British Museum. And it's not on display, by the way, but it's still in the museum. So I'm not doing this for views, my brother. I think this is important because, for one, myself, I'm not familiar with these stories, but yet I'm familiar with the I Have a Dream speech, as so very many of you are. And I'm not saying that that's a problem. That's a great speech. But the tale of the eloquent peasant that was written thousands and thousands of years before that, holds a whole lot more weight than that. But again, I take nothing away from my great ancestors, none of them, because they all came forth with something. However, Unky and Ma'at, I live for Ma'at, so this is why I do this. Hey, new to you, great brother Stephen E. We love to hear your tones, great brother. What'd you think?
Hanu, Nefer Sanu. How you doing, good brothers? It was I love that story. That story is one of my favorite stories. That's probably the second or third time I've heard that story, and it never gets old. And it'll never get old, even though it's thousands of years old. And so it's a wonderful story. I'm glad you guys chose to read that story today. And Hanu to y'all. Hanu Ahati Ma'at. It's good to see you, brother. And I'm just happy to be here, like always, good brothers.
Great to see you, good brother.
Good to see you. I'm here to show my support. Anybody else want to jump on and show their support? I'm here standing with the brothers because this. I feel like my Eve is calling me to do this because I need to stand for something or stand for nothing at all, and stand on my honor is what I choose to do. So peace and love.
Peace. Yes, brother. That's why I'm here too. It'd be no other way. It would be no other reason for me to be here. It'd be no other. As said, I just want to learn, and my Ib let me here too, brother. So and it led me to begin to read these stories. I was doing some great presentations. They were getting really good, in my opinion. I hope everyone was appreciating of them. But I did get a couple strikes, or a strike, I should say, and I didn't. This work is too important to have the channel struck at all. And then there's so many more. There's so much better that I can do and I can bring forth, because, like I said, I'm not aware of these stories. I'm not aware of the story. I'm not familiar with them. We as a people are not as familiar with our own stories as we should be. Right? I was arguing with a brother, not even arguing, but I was talking with a brother, and he was arguing with me about another culture, and he was professing to be of that culture, and he was having a disagreement with me, and I just pointed some things out to him, and it was game over, because we, as melanated beings, whatever you want to call us, we are not familiar with our culture, with our own stories. We're just not. We're just now becoming aware of it. And like I said, I'm not ashamed of it, but we are educated by our enemies. So this is why we're not aware of this. This is why we're... Go ahead, man. Cool, brother. Go ahead, brother.
No, I love what you're sharing. I just wanted to add to your build, because
Go ahead.
If we are educated by our enemy, our oppressor, right, then we become prisoners in our own mind. Think about that. That's the programming and the brainwashing, right? And separating us from our ancestors and Ma'at. So then you become a prisoner in your own mind. Think about that. That is so treacherous.
Facts. Everything we call ourselves is something they gave us. Black, Negro, colored, African American, all these different whatever name, Puerto Rican, it don't matter. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. Only thing I'm saying is that everything that we call ourselves is something that was given to us by the oppressor, by the colonizer. Everything that we call ourselves, there's nothing that we identify with overall. Not some of us, but overall, is something that was given to us by someone else. The name, the language, everything. It's time, brother. It's time. So I'm honored to be able to. Ani, that was a great build. That you charged me up earlier with that breakdown, brother, on just salt and just how important salt was, and then you took it all the way back to the pyramid text. It's beautiful. It's nothing like it. And then when I read her when I read the beginning of what she said, that we can't even take it literally, that it doesn't really hold that much weight, that it's only a poem, it's funny then. Then it becomes comical, right? To be able to learn and sit at the feet of our great Saba Tahuti, and then to hear other things and other people talk, it actually is funny to me when I listen. So Tua for that great breakdown on just sodium, good brother, on just the natron salt. It was beautiful, and it was Nefa, brother. So I appreciate that. And yeah, Stephen E. That's why I'm here too, brother. And that's what we doing. We building this thing brick by brick, because we may be small right now, but we are not. We are mighty. And we are backed by the Netter, by Ma'at, because our foundation is Ma'at. So we will not fail. It will not fail. Ma'at will endure. It has endured. And this is why everything else up to this point has failed, other than what was based on the foundation of Ma'at. That's the only thing that is still great, lasting, right? Ma'at will be here. So, yeah, Tua for you standing next to us, good brother, because we building this thing brick by brick, and we all play a part. So you play a vital role in this, great brother. So Tua, go ahead, Minku. You got some more?
I love this build, and I think the 1-2 punch of this story, Ani, during the intro is we hear this statement that we have to be connected to nature, right? And it sounds kind of generic, right? But it's not generic, right? Because being connected, we hear this thing about the universe, right? And there's something very powerful that we must understand, and understanding natron is the element of the earth, right? And so I think you have to be in the consciousness and have an awareness of nature to see really the true power in it, right? And so I'm not trying to sound all whimsical or anything, but if Bluetooth and the color blue comes from this, think about how much we use Bluetooth now. I was thinking about, it used to really frustrate me, even 5 years ago, when we weren't using Bluetooth as much, and people would have their Bluetooth signal on, and I'm like, why do you just have that on? Like, you should turn that off. But now it's really interesting. Sometimes I get in my car, right, and I turn my Bluetooth on. My phone wants to connect to my headphones. It wants to connect to it wants to connect to my earpod. It wants to connect to my car. It wants to connect to, like, if you have a Bluetooth watch, the Bluetooth is highly used now in our society. And so sometimes we're in an environment where the natural resources are a very rich element that we need to be aware of our surroundings and what is the true wealth in our surroundings, because we know that the other people will, they study more than we study, and that cannot be the case. Well, they don't really study. Let me correct myself. Because of what they stole and them paying attention to some of the things that they stole, that they hid from us, is sometimes why they'll have the awareness. So I just wanted to share the more significance of this story and what you brothers shared tonight.
I made a note of some key points too that I would like to read too, in reference to Ma'at. So let me read if you brothers don't mind. Let me see right here where I wrote it down. Just to show that how everything, when the brother said, if he don't stand for something, he fall for anything. Just upholding Ma'at and rejecting injustice. The narrative commences with the act of injustice as the local governor transgresses Ma'at by seizing the belongings of the peasant. This sets in motion the pursuit of justice, aligning with the principles of Ma'at. Ma'at and persuasive eloquence. The peasants' renowned eloquence and clever speech became an essential tool in the quest for justice, aligning with Ma'at and the values of effective communication to restore balance and fairness. This is one of the great things that I learned by example from the great brother Ani, just watching him and just listening to him, as well as our great Saba Tahuti, and seeking Ma'at through legal means, quote unquote, right? The tale unfolds as the peasant embarks on a journey to seek justice, exemplifying the belief in Ma'at as he attempts to address injustice through proper legal channels, reinforcing the concept of balance and order. So he didn't go back and go back and take his stuff, right? Because I'm going to get mine. So, I don't know if that's Ma'at as well, but he tried to go the legal route, quote unquote, in obtaining his recompense, and he actually did obtain it through that. Ma'at's judgment and resolution, the Pharaoh's decision to conduct a trial and ascertain the truth aligns with the pursuit of Ma'at. The trial serves as a means to uphold Ma'at and resolve conflict and restore harmony and balance. And Ma'at and social equality, the narrative sheds light on the societal imbalances and the challenges faced by individuals on a lower status when encountering those in positions of power. It underscores the importance of Ma'at in ensuring fairness and impartiality, regardless of one's standing in society. When you're a peasant or you're lower than, you tend to look up to these people as if they're the netter, as if they're God, when they're not standing on Ma'at as the foundation. So they're really not better than you. They're really not there. If they are not bringing forth truth and balance in their roles and their position, then the respect isn't there. So I just wanted to just emphasize some of those things, how the tale imparts the lessons, emphasizing adherence to Ma'at, truth, perseverance, and how he was eventually able to triumphant over the evil with that. It's just a beautiful, beautiful story, as the great brothers pointed out. So, I had no idea that Ani was going to go into such a great pre-breakdown. But we're a team here, so I'm so glad he did bring that forth, because it was definitely that was beautiful, my brother. So for that, Ani.
Yeah, and that's beautiful as well, because I think in Kemet's, to be in a position of authority, you had to learn there were the laws of Ma'at. For you to be a judge, to be a governor, to have authority, there was, I believe, an oath that you had to take in Ma'at for you to be in a position of authority. And so what you're saying is so true as it pertains to the system that we're in, as far as who are the so-called judges or who the police and the law and the authority is. It doesn't line up.
Yeah, absolutely. This is why it's so important to read this literature. Why I started the Wisdom Wednesday to go into the instructions, the Hepu, the Sebayit, because this is what guides our daily walk. And as you brought up, with the him attempting to go to the chief steward and not just going and gathering up whoever he needs to gather up and go strong arm it back. And he said, no, let me go use my words. And I'm gonna read a part from it that I really love. He says, perform Ma'at for the sake of the Lord of Ma'at, for the constancy of his Ma'at is absolute. You are the pen, the papyrus, and the palette of Tahuti. So keep far from doing wrong. That goodness should be potent, is excellent indeed. And then he told He told the chief steward, but you show no compassion. You are neither concerned nor perturbed. You do not give me due recompense from this fine, which comes from the mouth of Re himself. Speak, Ma'at, perform, Ma'at, for it is great, it is exalted, it is enduring, it is integrity, it is evident, and it will cause you to attain the state of veneration. Which is, it just goes to show it doesn't matter what position or role that you have. Keeping Ma'at is what it's about. That's the only thing that would allow you to become who you're supposed to be. As he also says, Ma'at is the final end of falsehood, and falsehood will diminish and be seen no more. That's extremely powerful. It does not cross in the ferry and makes no headway. As for him who prospers through it, he will have no children. He will have no heirs upon earth. Do not be ponderous, but do not be frivolous. Of course, he's literally standing and speaking on Ma'at. He's saying it. You know, don't be ponderous, don't be frivolous. Don't be tardy, but don't be in a hurry. Don't be partial, and don't give in to a whim. Don't cover your face against one who you know. Do not blind your sight against one who you've seen. Do not spurn one who entreats you. Turn away from this slothfulness and let your decision be pronounced. You know, this men's balance is their tongue. It is the scale which determines what is lacking. This is absolutely phenomenal. This needs to go into instruction steles as well, because he's literally telling you, you know, what Ma'at is, and this is what they call a peasant, right? Who's telling the chief steward what Ma'at is. that's very powerful. You know, so I truly appreciate, this brother here, and leading by example, in the way that he does, and to be able to speak in a way, speak the Medu Nefer, that allowed him to receive what was taken from him. It allowed him to maintain a Ma'at within himself, and it superseded the Isfet that attempted to come to him. So, you know, instead of him losing sight of what he already knows, because he studies Ma'at, he reads Ma'at, he lives Ma'at, and instead of putting that to the side from emotional acting in an emotional way, he decided to be patient, and he decided to go about it a way that would allow him to maintain his own honor. And that's how he's seen that it was the proper way for it to be done. So there are different ways in which to practice Ma'at, and there are different ways to stand on what it is that you stand on, because everyone has a different journey. But the overall teaching of Ma'at, and it being a foundation, and for us to have the teachings, and you know, I've always been one to I always say, show me the results. I always said that, you know, show me the results. If you're giving me some type of instruction to do something, I need to see the results of what this does. And once I started implementing that, then, you know, it cut out all the Isfet. You know, you don't just take things for what's being said, and that's all that's going on. That's all that's happening today. That's all that's happening is people just say whatever, and just go with it. But that's why what we're doing is so powerful, and is gathering and bringing up the strongest brothers and sisters, because we have the best, the greatest, the strongest leader in Ma'at, in Saba Tahuti, because he leads by example, and all we have to do is echo what he does, implement, read the writings, implement them, practice them, and stay consistent, stay disciplined. And of course, that's more difficult than just saying it, but that's the blueprint. That's what needs to be done. Here's the blueprint. Now go build the house. Now go build the foundation. Now go build the temple. And so it's beautiful. To our great brother Atef Rimkim Ma'at for bringing forward this this story here at this time. And it's powerful. So Hinu to everyone. Make sure you support the teachings of Ma'at. Make sure you send in support for what we're doing, for what we're bringing forth, because I know for a fact every single person took something away from this. I know for a fact. So just leave something at the table. If you receive something from the table, it's balance, right? This is about Ma'at. That's why I love this, because this whole entire thing was about Ma'at. This is what Ma'at is, the balance. So if we're reading about Ma'at, and you say that you live or you exist within Ma'at, then we have to echo that. Ma'at is an action. Ma'at also means to examine. Yeah, Ma'at, it can be a noun, but it's also a verb at the same time. So make sure you continuously show support. And I think we got in two donations since the reading. Show those. Let's see. I'm not sure if I showed this one or not, but we'll show it again just in case. Let's go here. This is the third support sent in from the great brother Nukpu, also known as Robert Reyes, Ma'akaru Amun Ray in the chat. Eloquent Nathirus, Ma'at. All right, yeah, Tua, great brother. That's the recipe. Now cook. I wish I had like a stove sound or some hibachi rice cooking or something, like some sizzling noises.
Let me see. I got some. That's too late. I ain't catching it time. Got a sip of water in there.
There we go. To our good brother Nukpu. Yeah, you're definitely leading by example, living in Ma'at. So Tua to you. All right. And yeah, I did catch this. Ahati Ma'at says, Ani, what's the pendant on your necklace? So this is a shin that my goddess got for me. And it has my name on it. I don't know if I can. Let me see if I can. Oh, it's going in and out, ain't it?
Yeah, you can't see it. We could see it's a shin, though. I think great brother Roberto Reyes said it was a shin.
Yeah, it's got my name in it. Ani Pata Atin. And then it's got Tahuti on the side. You can probably see that one. It's got a large Tahuti right there. So it's Ani Pata Atin. And she put Nesubiti up there. Nesubiti Ani Pata Atin Tahuti. So this was a gift that my goddess got me. All right. Next we have the great moderator, Primordial Thought 9. $10. Hinu, great brothers. The Hinu fist. Another fantastic, great brother who just consistently shows support in so many different ways. This is a powerful brother here, and I expect him to do some amazing and great things for the teachings of Ma'at and watching his transformation. So Tua and Hinu to you, great brother, PT9, and we appreciate you. We appreciate your support, and we appreciate you being a fantastic moderator for the TOM. All right, and yes, that's the support that we received in. For everyone who's watching this on the playback, still send in your support. We have the Pathways to Awakening event coming up next month. That all the brothers you see on the panel are, this. We're putting this together for you all, and it's so make sure you get your tickets and come out and support. Come have some fun with us. Come celebrate with us, and it's going to be an excellent time. So, if anyone has anything else that they want to speak on, floor is yours. If you want to close us out, that's perfect too. So, whatever you want to do with Tefrem Kim Ma'at.
If no one wants to come to the panel and share their tones, we can close it out. I'll let the great brother Minku close it out. If you got some words, some closing words.
To you Nesu BTs for a great teaching tonight. Man, it's very transformational, and I am so looking forward to seeing you brothers in LA, so that we can honor and bring our offerings to the Nesu BT Sabat Huti. I feel very fortunate that to be in this energy, right? We could be anywhere, right? And very, very, very important, this information that we're sharing, because you can't get this anywhere else. This is our inheritance, and we're regaining our identity, because that was stripped from us, and we're regaining our spirituality. They try to strip that from us. We're relearning how to love one another. They try to beat that out of us, and so Ma'at, Sabatuhuti, you brothers are. You're bringing that forth, and it's a great place to be. Like, there are people in the world that are hurting, and they need this. And so to you brothers for echoing the ancestors, right? This is what they wanted us to be doing, and so we are in formation. It's a very powerful place to be. So to the chat. To all those who support it, we need your energy, and I love that the reciprocity is happening, that we're locked in, we're learning together, and it's great to be in a ceremony with you all.
True, our great brother. Stephen E., you got some closing words, great brother?
Peace and love. Can it be heard?
Yes, we can hear you.
Peace and love, everyone. Another wonderful class, like always, as usual. I'm grateful to be here, and grateful to know that there's a safe place for anyone to come and join and learn in Ma'at and regain, as Menku said, our spirituality and culture. So Tua Henu to all you good brothers, and Henu to the chat. And then also I sent some reciprocity also, but I think my Cash App is messing up, so that might come in later. But I sent some reciprocity, and I have some good news that I look forward to seeing you guys at the Pathways to Awakening event. Also, I purchased my tickets today, so I look forward to seeing you good brothers.
Yes. Yes, it knew. Oh, I know my mic was on. My bad.
That's all good. So Tua, and just keep on doing what we're doing. Staying in my peace.
Peace. That is good news, good brother. That's excellent news, brother. So I definitely look forward to seeing you too. Good brother, I need you checking on that reciprocity.
Yeah, I haven't. I don't see it, but I know if the great brother Stephen E. Said it, then I know it'll be there whatever the issue is going through. But Yes, it looks cleared out to me. So, but I know Cash App does mess up sometimes. Yeah, with that, Hinu to you, good brother Stephen E. Yeah, definitely look forward to seeing you at the event. What event are we talking about? The Pathways to Awakening celebration. Everyone get your ticket, scan that QR code right there, go to teachingsofma'at.org/events and come celebrate with us. Hotep Hinu to all the people who have purchased tickets so far. So we definitely look forward to building with you all. It's going to be fantastic.
Tua, yes, Tua for all your support. Tua, Hinu to all the great supporters, and Hinu to everyone in the chat. Robert Williams, Primordial Thought. Hinu to the greater Hati Ma'at, Roberto Reyes. Peace and love to everybody. Eric G, that's it. Peace and love to you, good brother. Peace and love to Shannon Southart. Peace and love to everybody in the chat. With that, we will close it out. Another beautiful class. We will close.
Give me one more minute, great brother Tef, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So as I always say, Hotep to everyone who supports. Continue to send in your support, even if we're not live right here. Everyone who watches this on the playback, continue to send in support. Cash App, PayPal, Teachings of Ma'at. Scan those codes. Utilize those codes to show your reciprocity, show your standing and living in Ma'at. All the Teachings of Ma'at members, we are having another class this coming up Wednesday. So be sure that you are all in the Discord. I need to update the time here. The time says 6 p.m. to 7, but it's from 4:30 p.m. Central Time to around 6. So this coming up Wednesday, which is September 20th. Be sure that you all are there and in class. All right, Meta Netter Mondays. Everyone be sure to reach out to our great Saba Tahuti, mysticaltelevision@gmail.com. I don't know what people are waiting on when it comes to this class. I mean, if someone gave you directions to a gold mine and just said, hey, it's a $20 entry to go in there and walk out with as much gold as you want, why would you not go? It really blows my mind how this class is not overly full consistently every week. So I'm gonna keep putting it out there though. I'm gonna keep telling you all until the alarm rings. So mysticaltelevision@gmail.com, Meta Netter Mondays. Hotep Hinu, Hotep Ma'at to everyone. Tu'a for your attention. Without your attention, this could never exist. Sakim M. Arit Marer Ka'a, Semu Hatu Natiru. I obtain the power to do what pleases my Ka. May the hearts of the Natiru lead you. Pert in Hetep, I come forth in peace. Hotep, peace.
Peace. With that, we will close it out. Another beautiful class. We will close as we always do with our beautiful affirmation. From today's teachings, The Tale of the Eloquent Peasant, line 160. Do not utter falsehood, for you are a balance. Do not go off course, for you are impartiality. Behold, you are the sole one with the balance. If it wavers, then you will waver. Do not drift, steer your course. Pull on the tiller rope. Do not rob, but take action against the robber. He is not truly great who is great only in greed. Your tongue is the plummet, your heart is the weight, and your two lips are its arms. If you veil your face against brutality, who then will reprove evil? You reap what you sow. So as above, so below. The same word of the peasant and the salt fields creates the same word for the heavenly fields, where one must remember your name and have your heart weighed to enter the field of reeds, all connected with the nectar. Unki and Ma'at, Un and S, Nintet or Set and Ma'at, Minhep Pet and Ma'at, Per Inuqui, per Ikut. I live for Ma'at. I exist within her. I do not speak in the place of Ma'at. Every day I advance towards Ma'at. My being is surrounded in darkness. I come forth as conscious light. Hotep.
Shed. Closed my eyes, then I woke up back in my bed. I could see my room as clear as looking through a lens. See, I thought I was awake, so then I tried to move, but my body shocked me like I was plugged in a socket. I started panicking and scrambling within my mental. I thought I died and now my body, I'm forever locked in. I was screaming, help me, someone help me please. But there wasn't any sound making it through my teeth. I could see movement in motion, shadows gather around me. How could I close my eyes already closed. Eating alkaline at this time, fasting reads so shocking. I was stuck in a paralysis, fear had me froze. It's time to shed. It's time to shed. I heard a voice in the back of my head. Rebirth, it's time to shed. It's time to shed. It's time to shed. I heard a voice in the back of my head. Rebirth, it's time to shed. I finally started waking up and coming back. I was in the opposite of state's effect. That's relaxed, I grabbed my phone and started to do research. Knowledge of what happened, I was in a lack. Insidious, the movie came direct to mind. Every time I seen this, it was connected to what's not divine. Demons crawling forcefully, holding the body down. Ain't no point in trying to scream, you will not make a sound. Deep within, I knew I made that a reality. The all is mine, I saw it, and so shall it be. I start replacing fear with knowing universe is mental. Talking to my subconscious to wake me up in dreams. Then one day my spirit guides came in so essential. Daylight's astral playing loud in my dream helped to set me free. I'm back in paralysis laying on my couch. But this time I was calm, ready to exit out. It's time to shed. It's time to shed. I heard a voice in the back of my head. Rebirth, it's time to shed. It's time to shed. It's time to shed. I heard a voice in the back of my head. Rebirth, it's time to shed. From what I read, I need to move my arms in front of me. See a rope and pull it, separate and then release. Now I'm out, I see my house is gleaming, I accept it. Looking in the mirror, staring at my car's reflection. I was so ecstatic, flying in every direction. This was months of subconscious reprogramming and redirection. Place my thoughts in my body, wake up, that's what I did. I was reborn from that day so I could start to live. It's time to shed. It's time to shed. I heard a voice in the back of my head. Rebirth, it's time to shed.
But I can only show you the door. You're the one that has to walk through it.